What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy, Adamski and Nick A, for coming through and boosting up the coins. So, we got a leak for you, man, right now, regarding Maximus Danelius Dubois Stronema. Here we go, folks. Reacting to AJ's and Team Hearn's claims of the rematch. Yeah. Oh, AJ's rebuilding now. Don't worry. Ben Davison's got it now. He's rebuilding. He's 35-year-old. He's 35-year-old. How many more times do I need to hear Johnson rebuild it? I've heard it all. Seriously, it's wild. Here we go, folks. Here's the league hit no one's seen before.
Out in the ring walks.
Daniel, now there's talk of a rematch. Do you want a rematch?
Yeah. If that happens down the line, yeah. If that happens next year, yeah, I'm gonna go for it. I want to do even better next time. So, yeah. I know where I need to improve on as well. So, yes, as a champion and as a fighter, I just want to, prove people wrong all the time, and that's what we've been doing.
Would you be confident that you would do exactly the same, if not even more effectively, a similar type job on Joshua?
I think so. I think I would. I think I'll be a lot better than that. And, it was a great show and it was a great Rocky type fight. But next time I believe I'll be more clinical, more sharper, everything better. But yeah, I'm just going to, yeah.
Would you prefer a rematch with Joshua than to move on to the winner between Usyk and Fury?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I would love a rematch, but either one, really, either one. Whoever pays me the most.
So, we just heard there from Maximus Danelius. And listen, a lot of people before the fight, all the talk sport homosexuals, all the Anthony Johnston homosexuals were talking about how Daniel Dubois, the moment's going to be too big for him. And there is an element of that. And that's why I ultimately believe he's only going to get stronger now and better. And you heard him there. I think he got a bit excited, naturally. It's a massive fight. And he performed that well in his first massive, truly... Yeah, I think, he hasn't had a fight of that magnitude, that's for damn sure. Certainly not in the UK. And he rose to it. This time, he's been there before. He knows he can do it. He will be calmer, more clinical. And it's interesting, I've got a video coming soon, but the odds have now leaked for AJ versus Dubois too. And Dubois is a heavy favourite. You put a tenner on Dubois, you get £4.50 profit back. So it's not as... That's just for the standard win. The KO will be about 1-to-1. You put £100 on, you get £100 profit back. That's what I'll be going for. Because Dubois knocked this guy head off again. AJ's finished. You can forget about him. Now, the second part was, Dubois said he leans more towards the rematch. And I actually agree, to be honest. Because Fury and Usyk ain't fighting until December. Yeah? They're going to want another 6 months off. Dubois just fought in September. He don't need to be hanging around for 9 months if he can help it. Why? Have another go on Johnston, which is being rumoured to be in February anyway. So 5 months after the September fight. You fight Johnson in February, have another go on him. So you get even sharper. You absorb even more clout. Being sharp in a gym is one thing. Being sharp under lights in 100... If you can do it again in Wembley, 100k, you've just transcended at that point. You're then an official under the lights fighter, which is quite rare. A lot of people don't perform their best under the lights. Ask Lawrence Okoli. Ask Richard Riakporhe. These are notorious gym fighters. Ask Martin Bakoli. Martin Bakoli knocked everyone out in sparring. Okay, he knocked out Jared Anderson. Respect for that. But you didn't knock out Tony Audley Harrison Yoka. Yeah? That's what you didn't do. So you ain't that. Can't be that. Don't tell me you knocked out AJ, knocked out Usyk, knocked out everyone in sparring, but you can't knock out washed up Yoka, man. That don't make sense. I'm sorry, it don't make sense. Martin Bakoli, you're telling me you knocked Usyk out in sparring with big gloves and big head guard on, but you couldn't knock out washed up Yoka with 10-ounce gloves on? You bugging, man. The story don't make no sense, unfortunately. So, Dubois, who at one point was considered to be a bit of a gym fighter, right? When all the AJ stories were coming out, especially after losing to Joe Joyce and losing to Usyk, it's like, oh, this guy's a gym warrior. Now he's transcended. Yeah? He's putting his game together. I believe Don Charles is the right trainer. And I've watched the fight back. It's not perfect, but he's getting tighter. His guard's getting tighter. That's all he really needs to do. Is tighten his guard up, man. Tighten his guard up. And what else would I do with the Dubois fight, really? You know what? I don't want to go over the top here. You don't want to overthink things. Someone else said that in the comments today. You don't need to overthink things in a fight, man. In training, you can overthink. When that bell goes, you should just be flowing, reacting, a set game plan, that jab. And that's the great thing about Dubois. He has a base to work off from his jab. I wasn't sold on his jab. I thought it was quite ponderous, but end of the day, man, it lands, it finds its place, and it pops people's head right off. And everyone says it's like a right hand. So he can always go into a fight, have an oppressive jab, and things build off that. And that's what he did. Before he started going buck wild, he had his jab landing into AJ's face. Then he started doubling it up, and AJ didn't know what was going on, which is it's quite funny because Ben Davison was saying in the build up to the fight, oh, people think the double jab's going to put him off, but Ngannou was double jabbing. I never saw Ngannou double jab. All I saw Ngannou do was step forward like Jake Paul, stabbing the jab, obviously, and AJ pulling back and dinging the right hand. That's not what. And it turns out AJ didn't know what to do. When Dubois was throwing a double jab, AJ was like, pulling back like a clown. But yeah, for me with Dubois, the only thing I'd do differently is just I'd like him a little bit tighter when he's pressuring forward. There's a few occasions where he gets caught like just swinging left and right. But then again, AJ's not. Well, listen, AJ did find a shot. That is a fact. The way people rant and rave about the right hand that caught Dubois, I don't think it was that. It wasn't. But it was a shot. And he could do that again, right? So you don't want to. There's a balance here. A little bit harder or a little bit to the left or to the right next time. It could be the other way round. So you need. Then again, it's also a fight and it's heavyweight boxing. Everyone gets clipped. I've never known someone not to get clipped. Dubois got the infrastructure. He can take a shot. I think he's got the best chin in the division. People talk about the Usyk fight erroneously. Oh, he got knocked out by Usyk. No, he didn't. He quit against Usyk. That's not knocked out. Knocked out is when you've been neurologically compromised. AJ was knocked out against Dubois. He was trying to get up and he couldn't. Dubois was not trying to get up and he couldn't. That's a knockout. Dubois quit, which is bad in one respect but good in another. Quitting doesn't mean you don't have a great chin. It just means you're psychologically soft. You're not neurologically soft. Dubois has just one of the best chins in the division. It's Dubois and Usyk, and I'd actually lean towards Dubois. Why? He's been hit with big shots. Usyk really hasn't been hit with big shots clean. That's all respect to his skills and whatnot, but Dubois took the right hands. Could Usyk take that many right hands from Hrgovic? Maybe not. Dubois did. Then again, look at Joe Joyce. It's a slippery slope. Joe Joyce had a great chin. Now he's getting knocked around the ring by everyone. Any man. If Derek Chisora has a go on you, you are any man. I like Derek, but come on now. Derek has about 2 rounds of gas, right? In a 10-round fight, in a scheduled 10-round fight, Derek Chisora has legitimately 2 rounds of gas. And he slapped Joe Joyce around the place. So it's a fine line. And it wasn't long as well, people. I guess Zhang, to be fair, Zhang softened up Joe Joyce's chin. Joe Joyce was a juggernaut against Joe Parker. He goes in there with Zhang and he's knocked Spark out and never been the same since. So it's a fine line. And part of me wants to say sometimes it's better to err on the side of caution. Yeah? You don't want to... same as AJ... Dubois, I don't think he will. I think Dubois is based. I don't hear him getting lost in the sauce. AJ got lost in the sauce with that Mbongo KO. When he knocked out Francis Mbongo, he thinks now it's magical and he thought he could just step back and ding a backhand on everyone. That's legitimately what Ben Davison thought and said so, and what AJ thought and said so. Dubois and his team, they are more humble. That said, I don't want Dubois to think now he can storm forward and thrash away. It's not sustainable. Joe Joyce was slow, but he tried that kind of thing, just coming forward and slapping away with your head in the air. In heavyweight boxing, even more so. There's no need for it. You can come in, stalking, menacing, like this, in tight, chin down, pop, get that stiff jab popping out, pop, right in their chops for them, and then get to work. I wouldn't mind seeing. That's what the old school guys. Dubois has elite level mid to long range game. But what's missing from Dubois' game, as is the case, most heavyweights today, they look like Lennox Lewis / their fight styles like Lennox Lewis / that. Even Dubois, right? It's jab and right hands. Yes, Dubois can get going on the inside, but what's missing? Maybe I'm being ideological here, but what's missing in my mind, being a old school fight head enjoyer, what's missing is I'd like to see Dubois in there, elbows in, chin down, just standing there on top of someone like this, just having a look and working. I haven't seen him working yet. I've seen him thrashing. I've seen him trying to knock someone out. That's not the same as working though. I'd like to see Dubois comfortable standing in front of someone. Just even with Jarrell Miller's feet are slow. Even with Jarrell Miller, Dubois spent a lot of time going backwards, long jab, long kind of short shots. He was throwing long uppercuts in there. He was never really, I never remember seeing Dubois in there with Jarrell Miller. In there working, right? Chin down, elbows in the centre of the ring, just not going back, just working in there. You know what I'm saying? Slipping off and dinging to the body. I didn't see any of that. It was all kind of long range, mid to long range, which is very effective. But that's the next level of game. Why not? Why not develop some of that? The ability to tangle on the inside. Because what are these guys going to do? What are these guys going to do? And really, I can't think of one heavyweight. Bacoli's shown some of that with Jared Anderson. He showed some ability to tangle. It looked quite old school in that fight, but Anderson was... who knows how good Anderson is? Yeah? Who else is there? No one's really shown that old school inside fighting us. That Burt Cooper versus Holyfield. No one's shown that. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Add that notch to your game. Because if you can fight on the inside, in this day and age, it's worth more than your weight in gold. Being able to be comfortable and just tangling on the inside with your feet planted. No one wants to do that no more. Name me a fighter. Vlad didn't. Pulev didn't. Povetkin, again, he'll jump in, and you never saw Povetkin in there just working away. He'd jump in and get off and get out. It's all get off and get out work now. The Dubois need to make that. He's good at thrashing and trying to finish someone, but it's kind of panicked. The more clinical side of finishing someone is posting up, having a look. You got your hand, you know what I mean? You got your hands up, you're having a little look. What? You're rolling off and whipping. You're just working. You're not desperate. You're not, I need to stop him now, or the fight's going to be over. It's not a thrash. It's like more of a clinical. I'm breaking this dude down. I'm on him. I'm working his soft body. Because even with Usyk in the Usyk fight versus Dubois was too... Yes, Dubois has changed since the Usyk fight. So even in his current form, I'd expect him to do better with Usyk. And in my opinion, he'll beat Usyk. That said, it's too boxy. It's too boxy, man. That jab, you put it straight on. To be quite frank, as far as the Usyk fight is concerned, it might sound controversial, but I wouldn't mind seeing Dubois turn southpaw. Ridiculous, but I'd try it. Okay, I'd try it. I guess get that jab, because it's hard to land a jab on a southpaw. It doesn't line up as well. I'd get Dubois turning southpaw and drilling that right hand right in Usyk's mouth. That's what I'd get him doing. At least for a round. Let's try it, see how it works out. I'd get him drilling that right hand right in Usyk's mouth, and then we'd work from there. Because an orthodox or a southpaw versus southpaw fight, it enables more pressure fighting. It's hard really to pressure, especially a slick southpaw from the orthodox stance. It doesn't line up as well. You can't just get on it. Like all your hooks and that. Your hooks, I think your right hook. Although actually no, Dubois did hit him with an uppercut. But your right hook, for example, it lands on their back, I believe. If you throw a right hook on a southpaw, it lands on their back. It's not landing on flesh. Whereas if you throw a right hook on an orthodox, you're landing straight on the money where it needs to be. So yeah, that's what I do with the Usyk fight. Either way though, even if you got Dubois orthodox versus Usyk southpaw, we're coming straight forward. The problem is, I don't remember him really landing loads of them jabs, which meant that he couldn't then get the other work off. So again, the southpaw versus southpaw shtick there might be something in that. It's not going to happen, but in my mind, I'd experiment with it in training. Start doing a few rounds. If Dubois is doing 20 rounds a day, I'd start doing 1 or 2 southpaws, get him in the mind frame of thinking of it. Anyway, the point I'm making is, even if you don't land your jabs, you get straight on him. Even if you're not landing it, that's what Carrot Top does well. Canelo does well, yeah. He'll feint the jab, not intending to land it. He's using it as a herder. Chin down, chin down, stuck to your chest, yeah, and stuck to your forehead. With feint. We're coming forward. We're going straight in. I don't care if Usyk wants to slap about, whatever. That's what Chisora did. Chisora wasn't even feinting. Chisora was just coming in, head down, just swinging around. You don't have to box with people, especially someone 165 pounds soaking wet. So you get your head down, you stick your hand to your head, yeah. You're feinting coming in, and you're just working. You're going on him. You're not politicking. You're not waiting for his response. You're not waiting to get slapped in the mouth. You might get slapped in the mouth coming in. We're going in there. And then you get on him. And you work him, man, like a heavy bag. You get on him. You just stand there, working him. That's what you do with that guy. And if you can... all these skills... to beat Usyk, you can beat all the others, if I'm honest. That's the bottom line. You can beat all the others if you can beat Usyk. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, folks. Dubois... he's honing his game right now. 27 years old. He is really learning and he's showing it. AJ never... we heard about all these stories of AJ learning and showing things. He never really learned and showed nothing though. What did he learn and show? That he can dance around. A 6'6" dude can prance around and faff about with Mr. Blobby, Andy Double Cheese Ruiz in the second fight. Or faff around with Pulev for 11 rounds. That's not learning. Learning is showing marked improvement. Wow. Jarrell Miller fight. Dubois showed and learned, or he'd learned how not to quit in a somewhat of a tough fight. Hrgovic again. He showed he can take big shots and come back and stop a dude and be totally ferocious. And now he's just shown precision. He's put the whole game together now. He took 1 shot in 5 rounds. And do you know how hard it is, people, to take only 1 shot in a fight where you're running into someone? It's almost unheard of. Oops. So he's 27 years. Imagine another 2-3 years from now if he keeps improving and keeps listening, keeps trying new things and running with them. It's a wrap. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, folks. Smash the like button, subscribe, let off the bell. There's no doubt about this one, people. Stop it.